It's another beautiful Sunday afternoon. This is Rubbin Minds. Welcome. My name is Ebuka Beach, and great to have you here with us once again. On what has been a very sort of deadly week, if I may use those words, for Nigeria. We've been hearing reports about terror being on the loose again in the northeastern part of Nigeria. We heard about attacks in Adamawa State and Borno State this weekend alone. We also did hear very sad news coming out yesterday from the capital of Akwa Ibom State, Uyo, about a church building collapsing. So many unconfirmed reports we've heard. NEMA officially says 6 people died, but official eyewitnesses who were there, including reputable news agencies, have said it's between 60 and 160 people that have died. It's scary to know how that was allowed to happen, because we hear the church was being built. I also hear the governor of Akwa Ibom State was in attendance. So hopefully we do get some answers. And I mean, we just recovered from, I think, a couple of years ago of a building collapsing in the church premises again in Lagos. And I don't know if that investigation has been completed yet. So we need to pay more attention, of course, to our building plans and all that. But we're going to be talking in depth about all of these things. I have here with me Wale Oshunde, who's a regular on this show. Thanks for being here today.
Thank you so much.
Let's start with the blasts now, especially in Maiduguri. We did hear of twin blasts in Maiduguri, and at least about 3 people have died so far. And it looks like I saw a chart online of terror in Nigeria this year, and there was almost no activity up until September, October. And it looks like we started hearing about attacks again. It looks like it was 1 every 2 weeks. Now it's becoming more frequent. This weekend alone, we've heard about 2 of them.
Well, it leaves us with one conclusion, and that is the fact that we still need to be very, very vigilant. Our government still needs to be very, very careful. And then we need to know that Boko Haram is actually not a thing of the past yet. So we still need to launch very many more investigations into all of these things. And then our security agencies should be on high alert. Of course, now witnessing the fact that we have twin blasts, in 1 day alone now, and then this has been happening. If only you actually take a very cursory look at this, then you know that it's been happening, maybe once in 2 weeks or once in 1 month and twice. Of course, now it's gone down drastically, but then it has not left us completely. And so it means that our security agencies, our government should, be more attentive to the spate of attacks now, and then we should, try our very best possible to ensure that we eradicate it completely.
Yeah. What will you attribute this to? Because, like I said, the year has been pretty much okay with regards to terror issues, especially in the northeast, up until the last couple of months. Would this be a case of the fact that maybe the military took a foot off the pedal, saying, "No, we've contained this," and Boko Haram has taken advantage of that, or are they still doing well and Boko Haram has just changed tactics, you think?
Yes, I think I'll agree with you on the second, the second line. I don't want to believe that this very current military that we are seeing, is actually resting on his laurels. I don't want to believe so at all. I want to believe that, in fact, they have been better equipped, and then they are actually launching more and greater attacks against Boko Haram. It's only unfortunate that we are still witnessing, should I call it, this pocket of attacks now, and then, when you're fighting terrorism, you cannot expect anything less. So it means that they should be more tactical. They should try to overpower the terrorists, and then they should actually look at the loopholes, if there are any right now, which I want to believe there are 1 or 2 loopholes. Skirmishes of attacks here and there shows that there are loopholes, and then probably they are actually changing their own tactics and you expect that of any terrorist like Boko Haram. So I want to believe that with the kind of leadership that we have in terms of our military right now, and then the way they have been launching their own attacks, powerful attacks, I must say, both airstrikes and then, you know, their marching soldiers launching attack into the Sambisa forest and other hideouts of these terrorists. I want to believe that they can do more, and then, you know, we should encourage them at this point. We've lost so many officers, gallant soldiers, you know, doing all of these things for us to ensure that we close our eyes, you know, and then we sleep well in the city and in all other areas of, in our country. So we should encourage them, we should thank them, and then we should expect that they'll deliver on their promises to wipe out Boko Haram entirely.
I think that's a very good note to wrap up that particular point. Nigerians have almost taken this for granted that Boko Haram will be defeated, and I think this has sort of put people on their toes again, wondering, are we going back to the dark days of 2014 in particular? I think that was one of the most deadliest years, one of the deadliest years, I beg your pardon, in our history. But hopefully, like you said, the military is going to take action, and we make this a thing of the past. Moving on now to what I was talking about earlier when the show opened, about this church building collapsing, and we're not exactly sure about the picture. I mean, I'm sure in the next couple of days we'll find out exactly the number of people who have passed away, hopefully with names, so that, I mean, we tend to mourn in this country without attaching people to these numbers every time. We just say, oh, 80 people died, without necessarily knowing who they are. I hope this will be a different situation. But, I mean, this is, like I said, we did have one with the Synagogue Church of All Nations in Lagos. It wasn't a church building, but it was a building that collapsed with church members in it. This has happened again. You know, we hear that this wasn't a completed structure yet. So you wonder why were they allowed to worship in that building if it wasn't completed? The governor we hear was in attendance. Did he approve of this? Now we're hearing the state government has opened an investigation. Isn't this medicine after death, literally?
Well, it's quite unfortunate that we have this attitude in Nigeria, a situation whereby we always are curious to launch investigations only when the deed had been done. It's quite unfortunate. I don't know yet, and then just like you said, we are still waiting for the reports to actually come in. But, you know, we should actually jack up the rate at which we approve structures and, you know, structural fittings in Nigeria. I think that is one very important thing that we need to actually improve on. We should not just approve the construction of buildings, of, you know, magnificent edifices like this church like we're talking about, and then for any structure for that matter that wants to go up there, we should actually ensure that we use the best of engineers, the best of, you know, whoever has to do one thing or the other to ensure that it's a quality situation. You know, I don't know. I just want to believe that probably substandard materials were used, or engineers who are actually not well qualified and certified, you know, with all sense of responsibility. I take that word. You know, probably they were actually not involved in the construction of that project in the first place, which is very unfortunate. You see, all of these kind of things are really not